Welcome to our channel, SrcCodes. Recently I made a video in comparing the Scrum Guides, the new version that came out in November 2020 with the previous 2017 one, and one of those key changes was doing away with the term servant leader. Now while I did the article, published it, and shared with a few of my friends in the Agile community, I was surprised to know that a lot of them are not aware of it, and more so, if they're aware of it, they seem to be averse to the change. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the origin of the term servant leader and probably potential reasons for why this change came about. The popular term to refer to a Scrum Master is servant leader. So to define the type of leadership that a Scrum Master usually plays in a Scrum team or an organization, we use the term servant leader. Even though the changes came across in the Scrum Guide of 2020, I think organization, the Agile community, Scrum Master themselves are yet to adapt to it. So what is servant leader? So I did some research. So if like me, you were not aware of it, it was introduced by Robert Greenleaf in 1970, and this is what it says.
The servant leader is servant first. It begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. Then conscious choice brings one to aspire to lead. That person is sharply different from one who is leader first.
So, like we know that the power or the authority that the Scrum Master has in a team, he draws it from the people. It is not because of the position that he owns in the team or in the organization. So we might have leaders who are CEOs or CEOs or BU, business unit leaders. They draw the power from the designation. So not having that designation assigned to a Scrum Master was probably consciously done so that the power, authority, the influence that a Scrum Master has in his team, he draws it from his teammates. So this worked quite well when Scrum was introduced 20 years back, and it continued to serve the purpose. But being honest to the pillars of Scrum, which is transparency, inspection, and adaptation, I think Ken Squaber and Jeff Sutherland, they decided to do away with the term. They kind of explained it while talking about the various changes, and this is what they had to say.
After wrestling for a long time with servant leadership, we finally just changed the word order. A Scrum Master is a leader who serves.
And after saying this, they referred to the new product development game now, which was the first primary article, the source of inspiration for Scrum. If you haven't read that, please do. It's a very short article, but while reading it, you will realize that the core values of Scrum, the basic structure, is drawn from that article. So Scrum Master is anybody who enables change in the organization, who is able to bring out the efficiencies and deliver value to the organization. Now that might rest in the shoulders of an Agile coach, a delivery manager, but within an Agile environment. So it doesn't have to be the Scrum Master, but anybody who is helping, is a vessel for delivering value, will be known as the Scrum Master. And being a leader first, he has to lead by example. So we often talk about the Agile mindset, but it is so difficult to embrace it, and easier said than done. So when people are struggling to grasp how to implement Agile in their work, they would be looking up to the Scrum Master. So he does have to lead by example. Sutherland in the same interview says that
a servant leader resulted in Scrum Masters being good servants, but not leaders, creating a situation where 58% of Agile teams could not deliver.
Now he was quoting this. Now this 58%, that is a huge number. So where he's quoting this from is the Standish report, and that comes out every 2 years, which kind of focuses on the success and the efficiencies of IT project. The chaos report is based on the Standish group's chaos research, which primarily focuses on the success and failure of IT projects and how they were managed. This kind of directly compares Agile projects with waterfall. So they categorize all projects as successful, challenged, or failed. And where Jeff Sutherland is sourcing the data as 58% is the summation of the challenged and the failed projects for Agile. So 42% of Agile projects were in fact successful. Only 26% of the waterfall projects did succeed. But we do have to understand that the aspiration of the people who set up Scrum would be that we have better success rates and we have less challenged projects. In this particular study, which came out in 2019, it is said that 50% of Agile projects were challenged and 8% of them failed. So that is how the number 58% was derived, and it led them to revisit what the term Scrum Master means. Sutherland goes on to say that 58% of Agile teams could not deliver according to the Standish report group data on millions of projects. We hope presenting the Scrum Master as a leader who serves will help. So that is the reason and the source of the change. And since we belong to a community that kind of thrives on agility, I think it is time to revisit and accept the change, because this is data-driven and it is for all to see. I will be providing links for the articles that I have referred, and since I don't have the Standish report, I went on to an article which sourced the data, and in fact that article is talking about why Agile is so successful when compared to waterfall. It's all about perspective. If you're curious about Scrum or Agile, go through these articles, and if you are in this community and are currently working as a Scrum Master, you are way ahead of me in terms of knowledge. This is a simple analysis of a person who is aware of the basic principles and has the certifications to prove that, and is going through the logic that was presented by the creators of Scrum. So please leave a comment on why you agree or disagree with these findings, and are you willing to accept the term leader for a Scrum Master? Also, do you think this will help, or the problems that exist will continue, and a mere coining of a term leader for Scrum Master won't solve it? I look forward to your comments. Bye-bye.